long Denver decided we just didn't, oh look at that, have enough power on the motor. Sheesh, well and truly wraps around.
Chuck in the boat. It's a nice warm day here in Langebaan, and Colben is going to go and make a little mark on the propeller. We want to see if the bush inside the propeller is maybe slightly loose, because we seem to be losing power from the prop. So the water's not so warm. What does it say?
15.5 degrees.
Oh, that's not too bad, but he's got a whole wetsuit on and the whole way, so
He should be fine.
do we have to tie a string onto the thing, or are you going to not lose it?
No.
What are you doing with it?
Just going to make a little scratch on the propeller and on the cone. And then he's going to come out the water, and we're going to see if we can get it to slip again. And then he's going to go back in and check. Oh, it's toasty, eh?
Wetsuit's a bit much.
Yeah. We're all getting jealous. We all want to jump in here. It's a nice water jump.
So the night before we left Club Mykonos, we were busy testing the engines to make sure that all the air, because obviously we had to do some welding on the fuel tanks, and so there was air in the system and we needed to bleed the engines. So we were busy testing those, and we brought the engines up to about 2,500 RPM, and we noticed that we lost a lot of power in the starboard side engine, which could have been one of three things. It could have been one of the gear linkages that we had just put on, or something inside the actual engine itself. I'm not entirely sure what Chris had spoken about there. Or the prop was slipping, the bushing inside the prop was slipping, and so we were losing all the power. So when we got to Saldanha, the first thing to do when we picked up the mooring ball was to jump in the water, take the prop off, and see exactly what was going on there. And so it turned out that the bush inside the propeller was slipping. I'm not entirely sure how all of that works, but it was slipping. And in finding that out, prop got sent back to Cape Town with Chris, and now we wait.
Colben had the clever idea of tying a makeshift bucket to the underside of the prop, just to make sure that when he's taking stuff off, if it does happen to fall, it lands in the bucket, because at Saldanha it was very deep compared to Mykonos. Mykonos was about 4 meters, so it was easy to retrieve stuff that we dropped, but here not so much. We've all come to realize that Colben is a bit scared of seals for some reason. He finds no problem with swimming with sharks and getting pushed off of his fishing ski by a shark and diving with sharks, but put him in the water with a seal and it's a whole different story for him for some reason. So while filming, I was hanging out of the starboard emergency exit window, and I was leaning out and filming out of there and noticed that a seal was coming past quite quickly. Didn't have time to warn Colben, but I thought it was pretty hilarious. When I went up to see if he had actually seen it, luckily he hadn't, because I think he could have pooped himself. How's that seal swim past?
Did you
Colben,
get it in the video?
yeah,
Did you?
yeah. Colben was none the wiser.
No, he didn't know. He's concentrating. He's concentrating. Yeah, look. He's done the whole job already.
Is he?
Yeah. There's a big stainless thing that's pretty well grown in there. No, that's the thing that must come off, that stainless steel thing. And this thing? Is that it? Possibly this thing? Oh, is it just that? Or maybe it's just this thing that's on there. Because there's another thing there, but it's pretty well grown in there. I can't remember if it's just that thing that's on there. I think it's actually just this thing. Yeah, it's just this thing. No, I think this thing can come out. You want to give you the flat. See, this is where it's been turning. This thing inside that thing. It's a lot tight. Okay, do you want to give me the flat? I'm not quite sure what part you're talking about now. Okay, so that's all if you can't grab it with your hand,
Yeah.
right?
It's pretty much in the gearbox, okay? But there's a lot of like growth and stuff that could...
Yeah, but I think it might only be this thing
You sure?
that actually goes against that.
How do you get to F-job?
I don't know.
propeller, and there was we noticed that when we had the boat tied up and we put it in gear, and after a while the RPMs went up of the engine, but and the thrust wasn't there. So we then went to Saldanha Bay, where we took the propeller off, and I took it back to Cape Town to a person that can redo the bush, and they've remolded the inside of the propeller, and now we're going to give it a try and put it back on and then go for an engine trial and see how it goes.
There's the bush.
So hopefully it's all good.
And that's all the parts there. Let's have a look in there, Tony.
Can you see?
Yeah, that's the new bush that's been put in.
Yeah. That's the washer.
And then Chris is going into the Arctic water.
So
I hope he survives the cold.
the water's a little bit chilly today, but I've got my wetsuit on that I bought probably about 35 years ago.
And it still fits.
It still fits.
Oh.
Yeah.
Barely, he's turning red and purple.
What do you mean turning red and purple? That's because the water's so cold. Not because I'm trying to suck it in so that
And
it still fits.
Corin's getting geared up to go and look after Chris to make sure that he does the job properly
Buddy.
and that he doesn't drop any spanners in the water.
Denver's wetsuit, so it's way too big. Mine's still in storage. Okay, let's turn this baby on.
Should be on ready.
Where did I go? Whoops! Oh, it's Matillo's. But I'm standing here.
Are you?
Yeah, there.
Cheapest.
Okay. Can I give you a hand? Oh yeah, oops. You standing?
It's pretty on this side, it's pretty dark.
It's cold. Sherbet.
Yeah.
Straps hooked around anything that you can't get back up.
Okay, so I'm going to go underneath and then untie all of his rope that he's put on there. Trust it to be on the dark side because the other side has got the sun on it.
Okay.
It's a bit chilly.
So over the past few weeks, Chris has been back and forth to the boat, and Robin and Karen in Denver have been doing a whole bunch of sea trials. And so after the prop came back from getting the bushing redone, they took the boat out to sea, did a few sea trials after they put the prop on at Colben. They did a few sea trials, a couple man overboard drills and stuff like that, and everything seems to be going 100%. So we're stoked that the prop is now should be sorted and sea trials can commence.
Unfortunately, there was no footage of them fitting the prop back on because the GoPro that they did have of my brothers, I think, stopped working as they got in the water. So I think soon we'll be having to invest in a heck of a lot of new camera equipment if it keeps going this way.
Right? Okay, but where is that ship? The one behind us?
Bad mistake. Okay, so we constantly looking and he's headed that way, is that right? The ship's headed that way.
No, he's going to come past us.
So do I need to go back?
No, you can just stay on your
Stay on my course.
He's heading out through the channel, which is
Over there.
yeah.
So Karen, can you tell us exactly where we are now? We are officially out at sea.
Leaving the Langebaan Lagoon, and Saoirse is finally in the ocean. Open ocean.
Open ocean.
Yes.
Perfect.
The cat's not happy.
Eating after.
Being sick everywhere. Sorry.
Eating after.
Okay. But we're loving it.
It's the first time the boat's been in like 40 meters of water.
Yeah.
And we're just plodding along slowly with the engines and stuff. It's a pretty nice day. It's fairly flat. But there's no wind.
No wind.
We're at about 6.6 apparently.
Yeah.
No drink for now. Sail on another day. And my
How's the cat?
Green.
Hello, man overboard!
Man overboard!
Okay, making noise. Robin, you the spotter. Yeah, I'm on 190.
Okay, so now you want to be turning around.
So if you're on 190, you want to come back to 10 degrees.
So you could already slow one down a little bit.
Swim, Dan boy, swim.
Now we are stopped because we're going to drift onto the gang. That's fine, dude.
Forwards of it. So we get it. There we go.
Okay. Well done. Didn't take too long.
Now with the two engines, it's a lot easier than a mono, that's for sure.
Watch this boat. It's
Okay, let's go.
Now when I turned hard just now, there was
If you guys are wondering why there hasn't been much content going out on the page, it's because Tegan and I have come up to Ballito, where my parents live. It's on the east coast of South Africa. And when we came up, we brought all the GoPro batteries, and a few days before that the Canon bombed out, so there hasn't been much actual we haven't had any cameras to do any filming with, but we are trying to get as much content out as we can, and we'll try and keep the videos going as much as we can given the circumstances. So what's going to happen is the videos are going to be Robin, Karen and Denver are still in Saldanha, and we're going to be doing the editing from here basically.
Not going to be great footage, it turns out. Tegan took all the GoPro batteries back to Belita with her, and we haven't been able to get any new, so using the cell phone is the best we can do for the next week or so. So this is closer, a little closer up against the mussel and oyster farms. We do know one of the local farmers he was one of our neighbours at Mykonos, and he has said to us that he would be happy to take us out and show us the whole process, so we're looking forward to doing that at some stage. But there's just a little bit more of the farms. The far side over there, they're all ships that are loaded and leave Saldanha from over there. So they're pretty widespread.
If you have any questions, please leave a comment below, and if you're enjoying our videos, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. It's a free way to help our production.